So we're now down in Poundbury, and it's a place I've been to before. I've had a video about a year ago when we were here, and it did raise quite a few comments. And we've got Luna being a little bit cheeky with us today. Very, very breezy, but we'll find out a little bit about Poundbury as we walk through. Shall we go? Yeah. We're actually on the edge of Dorchester, the county town of Dorset, and if you've ever been to Dorchester, it's a lovely town, oldie worldy sort of place, and this is virtually on the very edge of it. It's got this really strange architecture for Dorset, and particularly for Dorchester. It looks like a miniature version of what you might expect to find in London, and I like the architecture. I just feel a little bit disturbed about where it is. And when I read through some of the comments from last year, none of them really were very positive about the place at all. It's sort of very artificial, and what will it, with time, will it develop? Will it actually sort of all become? It's got no street. There's no markings on the street. There's no lanes. It's very much drive where you want to drive, go where you want to go. And you may have said, I may have said it in the past. It reminds me of the Port Miriam in Wales, which was used in the TV series. Forgot the name then. I had to ask my assistant here. It was The Prisoner that was filmed in Port Miriam. It was such a very artificial sort of place, and this is how it sort of feels, but on a much grander scale. Look at the scale of those buildings. Everything is 3 stories, 4 stories, 5 stories. Even the normal houses are like that. But it's nicely spaced out. There's lots of green areas, parks for the children, and little shops. If you remember The Prisoner, it was like a shop, and nobody goes into them. But the one across the road might be a little bit more interesting for Anita anyway. Here we've got a place where they're selling the plants. So this is actually built on the Dutchy of Cornwall, Prince Charles's land, and it's his vision really of what he would like to see architecture like in Britain. I do like the idea of 3 stories to a house. I think that makes better use of land, which we know is very limited, so you can have a smaller footprint and still have the same area of home inside. So I do like that idea. And there's something like 4,200 people, according to their website, that actually do live here, so it's growing. And it employs people in the different businesses that are here. People obviously still doing the construction, the maintenance. So it's providing work for some people. Some of the people who said they've actually worked on the buildings here didn't seem to be too complimentary about the buildings or the quality of the buildings. I don't know, I can't really comment on that. It's just what they've said. Just by the way, it's July, it's the 19th of July, and it's probably the hottest day of the year so far in 2022. It really is very warm. So in front of us we've got a park. It's very hot today, so it's not surprising actually there are no children, because it's going to be very hot on some of those things. It's all nicely laid out. It really is quite a pretty place. And then you come to the rows of houses, and you look at them and you think you might be walking down Downing Street. So if I found a black door with number 10 on it, I could quite convince you that I was actually at number 10 Downing Street. Luna's just taken a little tumble. All right, darling? Oh, you scraped your knee. I need to find some shade because it's very warm in the sun. It's just like Mallorca, actually. So we've got these signs here. So, ooh, just where we've been, I forgot to point it out. It's actually called Queen Mother Square, and it's got a statue of the Queen Mother. And then down, sort of in front of us down there, is what's referred to as the Butter Market. So I think they're going to play on the rocking horse or whatever it is. I'm just going to make my way down to the Butter Market. See you later. Bye. So nicely established trees, which are obviously much older than Poundbury itself. So these have been here for a long time. And the hall, the building that's in front of us there, is obviously much older as well, part of the original buildings that were on this site. It's Prince Charles's idea, and well, I'll leave you to really decide what you think of it. And I'm sure what I will find is that people will comment who are locals who live in Dorchester and the surrounding area, and be very interested to hear your points of view. Every now and again it seems to come up in the news, the national news, and I'm talking about it's obviously in the news as far as Dorchester and Dorset's concerned, and even Somerset. We're not far from Somerset, so it does come up in the local news, but even in the national news, people talk about what's happening in Poundbury and the development of Poundbury. So when it was built with the idea that it was a place, town for everybody. So while some of these houses and apartments are clearly very, very expensive, others are actually social housing. What I suppose used to be called council housing. So you've got people of all walks of life potentially living in this area. It's nicely maintained, it's all very clean. Flowers and nicely pruned. And looks as though there's some scaffolding up across the road, so doing a little bit of repair work, probably just painting really. I can see the one on the corner looks as though it's been freshly painted. Just getting warm. So spoke about the temperatures in some parts of the UK today. It's probably going to get up to 40 degrees. That is exceptional for the United Kingdom. It's probably going to be the highest recorded ever temperatures, which is incredible. So we've come from Mallorca, where we've actually got similar temperatures to this. Very, very warm. So the scaffolding's out, and yeah, I think they're just doing a little bit of painting down here. Just going to put the camera up so you've got a bit of a higher view. Gonna take some photos from the middle here.